This is an opinion column. Any suggestion that President Joe Biden would lead from the center went up in flames when, under pressure from fellow Democrats, he flip-flopped on his support for the Hyde Amendment. This budget rider, which prevents the use of taxpayer money to pay for elective abortion, has enjoyed broad bipartisan support for almost 50 years, regardless of which party held power in Washington. Biden supported Hyde for 4 decades and throughout his unsuccessful presidential bid in 2008. However, when pressed by abortion extremists in the run-up to 2020, he reversed course and said he no longer supports the measure. The current Biden budget proposal doesn't include the Hyde Amendment. Translation: Joe Biden not only wants abortion to be legal, but he also wants people who find it deeply morally objectionable to be complicit in it by paying for it. So much for a presidency for all Americans. In a June 21 letter to members of Congress, a coalition of 22 state attorneys general led by Alabama's own Steve Marshall rightly called on Congress to preserve the Hyde Amendment. Marshall knows the importance of legislation like this amendment to protect freedom of conscience for all Americans. In the letter they wrote, "The key to the Hyde Amendment's 4.5 decades longevity is that its purpose is clear and commonsensical. It prohibits the use of federal funds for abortions, with exceptions, on the basis that a great many taxpayers object to abortion on moral or religious grounds and, therefore, it is unconscionable to force them to pay for abortions by using their tax dollars for that purpose. Congress should resist following President Biden down this path and should instead maintain the Hyde Amendment language in the budget it ultimately passes." I spent a great deal of time thinking about the Hyde Amendment in the context of my work with the Resolutions Committee at the recent 2021 Southern Baptist Convention annual meeting. I'm proud to say that our committee brought to the floor, and our messengers passed a resolution that spelled out in very plain language why Hyde is essential to the defense of the unborn and our religious liberty. I grow very weary of the left preaching to me that we all should just live and let live, and in the next breath, demanding that I financially participate in that which violates my deeply held beliefs. You can't have it both ways. Democrats who genuinely believe that our founders intended freedom for individuals to live as their conscience and beliefs dictate on matters like these should be the first to stand up and protect something like the Hyde Amendment. But it turns out we don't all mean what we say. I make no secret of the fact that I want to see an end to elective abortion. It's a practice violently counter to the human dignity present in every person, born or unborn, created in the image of God.